Alrighty. Hello everyone, and welcome to another video. Today's episode, as you read, is called Men Don't Lust. And now I'm going to explain exactly what that means and what you probably need and want to hear. So the first thing to start off with is, what is lust? Lust is an intense craving or desire for something we shouldn't have, whether it be a food or a woman or pleasure. And I mean the bad kind of pleasure. Not just anything. Pleasure isn't bad in itself, but unhealthy sexual pleasure, that's bad. And that's what this episode's really about. And this is more so geared towards the men, but women, if you're watching this, that's perfectly fine too. Whatever you're willing to learn from this, please take away and learn from it. But I will be talking more so from a man's standpoint. But I am talking about pornography, sex before marriage, all that hubbub. And no, I'm not afraid to say that word because, as Hermione Granger once said, fear of a word only increases the fear of itself. But anyways, now you know what lust is. Lust is a dangerous thing, something very painful. Not just for you, but sometimes for multiple people as well. And honestly, painful for me as well. And that's what this video is also about, is my own testimony. And I try to always use my testimony in these videos so that you know and can see the real work in me that Christ has done. Ow. Okay. But anyways, so if you haven't noticed, it's been normalized over time. Think about every generation. Think about our parents' generation. Think about our grandparents. Sexual things have been normalized more and more over time. And I don't think that was an accident. I think that is a will and plan of the devil. Think about your grandparents. It was very taboo to have sex before marriage or to even cheat. You know? It was only for the married folk, the baby boomers. That's how you're supposed to do it, and that's how they wanted it. Why? Because it was the right thing to do. And why was it the right thing to do? Because that's what God told us to do. That's what God willed it, and it's just safer. There's only good that comes out of it. But yes, it's been normalized. Like in movies and films, like I Love Lucy, they weren't allowed to sit in the bed unless both their feet were on the ground. Just to make us know that, oh, they're not gonna do anything. Because that's not what we came to see. We came to see a funny show. Oh my gosh, I'm getting destroyed. Oh man, that was rough. Okay. They weren't allowed to have both their feet on the... They weren't allowed to both be in the bed unless both their feet were on the ground. Because if they weren't, it was deemed too taboo, too sexual. And I wish we were still like that, because now we have descended into the absolute chaos of lingerie ads, sexual phone operators, videos on YouTube, TikTok dances. Like, it's everywhere. It's impossible for a kid to not be raised this way and to believe this is normal. I believed it was normal until I was saved. I believed that this is just, oh yeah, it's just how the world works. It's just hot women everywhere. No, that's not how it was supposed to be. Well, I mean, of course, there's supposed to be hot women. God created hot women. What I mean is, you weren't supposed to just have it constantly shoved down your throat of having so much sexual objectification thrown in your face that you don't even know what to do with it when you're 13 years old. Like, you're like, huh? Boobs? What the? I like those. Yeah, so do I. Just being honest here. But it's just gotten so out of hand. And it wasn't always that way, and I'm sad that this is where the world has come to. Which is why we have to try to protect our kids. And I don't believe in protecting them by hiding this. I believe in protecting them by teaching them. We have to teach them that this is wrong, not just hide it away from them. Because hiding it, isolating them from it, doesn't teach them anything. It doesn't fix the problem. It just postpones it. And that's why we have to do something about it. Hold on. And now to read the next part. What's the next part? Okay. This is my 6th attempt at recording this video. I kept pushing this to the end. I'm going to go ahead and talk about God's design and try to hopefully encourage some of you people who don't know it. So God's design is simple. Marriage. What is marriage? Marriage is the holy bound. Wait. The holy matrimony and bond between a man and a woman. Not a person who identifies as a man, not a person who identifies as a woman. Between a true man and woman. Think back to the biblical times. Adam and Eve. God created Adam, the world's first man, the first human to walk this earth. He was alone for a short time, and God knew this bothered him. Adam was alone, and he could tell that being alone wasn't the most fun thing. I'm sure Adam was still happy, but God knew he needed a helper. So God created Eve, but God didn't create Eve out from the dust as well, or nothing. God created Eve from Adam's rib. Now think about this. God could have created a separate organism, a completely separate being, one that is of its own kind, one that is of its own flesh. But he didn't. He created Eve out of Adam's flesh. One being. They are made from the same body. Adam is the original material that Eve was made from. And it's crazy when you think about this. Even crazier when you think about the rib. What are the ribs? What do they protect? They protect his heart. It's the closest thing to his heart, and it protects his heart. If that's not symbolism, I don't know what is. I find it absolutely crazy that God chose the rib just so that he can make it obvious, hey, this is the reason that y'all are supposed to be unified into one flesh, into one perfect and beautiful body. Maybe not perfect, but you know what I mean. And that's why marriage is so beautiful, because marriage is supposed to be the union of two people to become one flesh. And that's what happens when you become married. God says you become one flesh, and you are no longer your own body. Y'all are of each other's flesh, and you are to satisfy your wife, and she is to satisfy you. You're not allowed to be selfish anymore. Y'all are the same person. You're two different halves of a whole. And guess who the third being in this relationship? God. That's why marriage, in a sense, also reflects the Trinity. Three. Our marriage is not between two people. It's between three. You, your wife, and God. And it is very beautiful, and I can't wait to be married and to reflect His glory. Oh, come on. Come on. Come on. Woo. Okay. Anyways, it reflects His glorious design of what He had intended for us, and we've definitely strayed from that. Now we have sex before marriage. We have open marriages, which is the most disgusting thing I've ever heard of. It's not even a marriage. It's just a label. It's a different brand of something that isn't actually a real thing. No! I mean, come on. Like, an open marriage? What's the point of even getting married if you're still going to be with other people? That's just screwed up. Oh, I did a bad job dodging that. Come on. But we've stumbled into that. We've stumbled into friends with benefits. Just all these stupid things that are not okay. But it's okay because we can turn from these things. I can't make the world change, but I can hopefully change a viewer or two who decides to watch these videos and who's willing to open their heart and listen to not just me, but to God. And really not even listen to me, listen to God, because I'm saying what He wants you to hear. And I hope you're still here listening, because I have a lot to say to hopefully bring you closer to Him, and that's the main point of this channel. So, there you go. You've watched this video. Now you know a little bit more than you did before, hopefully. You know what lust is. You know what it entails. You know how it's supposed to be. What else do I need to say? I guess I'll just share a little bit more about me. I was 13 when I found it. Pornography. And about, honestly, I don't know how I didn't figure it out, but it was only a couple years later that I figured out how to pleasure myself. And I've struggled ever since. And I'm 19 now, so that's 6 years. Maybe I was 12. I don't know, I was young. But I've struggled for many years. But over time, it's gotten better. And it's not because I've gotten older. It's not because I've gotten wiser. It's because every day I've given myself a little bit more to Christ. And what does that mean? What does that mean? Because For me, it irritated me. Every video I watched, every sermon, I didn't understand what it looked like. And now I understand that it never looks the same. It never looks the same as what other people tell you. Because everyone tells you how they got closer to Christ, and it always seems kind of like a jump, like a missing step. And you're like, well, how do I do it? What am I supposed to do? Am I doing something wrong? No, you're not doing something wrong. It's just everyone has a different journey. And that's what makes it so difficult. Is because everyone thinks that following Christ is the same walk, but it's not. Everyone has a different walk. Everyone has a different journey. No one has the same adventure, no matter how similar we are. And that's why I started figuring more things out. I figured out that I follow God my way. I'm not even bound by one specific religion or denomination of the church. I'm not Catholic. I'm not Baptist. I don't believe in there being a certain denomination that's right. I don't believe we were supposed to have denominations. We were supposed to be just a church. We were supposed to be of Christ and for his body. And instead, we decided to create a bunch of different denominations. But anyways, that's not what this is about. What this is about is me and my relationship and sharing what I've been through with others so they can see this and decide, hey, I want that too. That's exactly what I'm trying to do. But then what else? How did it start getting easier for me, I guess? Over time, I learned to trust him. And that's really hard for me because I am not a super trusting person. Now, granted, I can be gullible sometimes, but I don't trust our government. I honestly hate our government. Our government is wicked and evil and very corrupt. Because, I mean, they steal from us and all that, but that's not the point. Anyways, I find it hard to be trusting, even of God. And I know some people might be mad at me for that, but hey, I'm sorry. I just am. And it's like I want to trust God. I do. And I always want to trust him. But sometimes I just don't. And it's an accident. Sometimes I make the mistake of not trusting him. And that has caused me so much pain. And I found that that was my most recent problem. I got over my first breakup recently. And I let it hurt me a lot. I mean, as it would normally, but I didn't trust him at times. I trusted him for the most part, but it just was yesterday that I fully decided to trust him. I believed that because I broke up with this girl that I wasn't going to find anybody else, that I wasn't going to love someone again, that I wasn't going to ever get married, and I'm just never going to be with anybody. And it scared me. And instead of trusting him, I would take things in my own hands. I would watch the bad stuff. I just got clapped. And I'd pleasure myself. All because I didn't trust him. And the only thing that changed, the only thing that really started helping me was trusting him. It wasn't reading the Bible. It wasn't praying my 3 square prayers a day. It wasn't confessing. It was trusting. And I don't know how to tell you how to trust God. If I could, I would have by now. You have to find your own way to trust him. And that's my solid advice. Is there is no one way of trusting him. There is your way. And it's hard. Because it was hard for me to trust him. And I understand. I really understand. Because I was like you. And I am like you. I'm not on a different pedestal because I've made it farther than certain people. If I was, I wouldn't be here on heaven. I wouldn't be here on earth. I'd be in heaven. The thing is, I am still here, so there are no pedestals. I'm just going to leave the video right here. You have to find your own way to trust him. Whether that be prayer, whether that be going for walks, whether that be journaling, whether it be praying even more, and anything like that. There's just not one way to trust him. Well, yeah, there's not. You find your own way. Because God is the way. If you already know he's the one way, that's perfect. That's great. Now you find your relationship with Christ. Because that's what makes him different than any other faith or religion. He is a personal God. Yes, he's everyone's God, But at the same time, he's also my God. And there's no other God like my God. No one has the same relationship as Jesus than I do. No one has the same Holy Spirit working in them than I do. And that's why I'm making these videos. So God bless. Y'all have a great day. And may God be with you. Amen, brother.